Welcome back, everybody. I'm thinking, we're all thinking, because versus Booyah Gang is going on right now. We got a great Div 1 match for you, everybody. Welcome to the stage, Bio.
Yeah, hey everyone, and yeah, like Anthony said, welcome to our Division One match here this afternoon or evening, depending on your time zone. And yeah, I'm pretty sure we're going to be seeing a lot of really interesting stuff coming out from these of course high level teams as they start showing off their skills in this best of 9 set. Of course, is a pickup made for LUTI Season 14 with a five-player roster with weapons ranging from a traditional shooter such as Zap and Neo Splash, all the way to some pretty interesting picks such as Carbon and Dually Squelchers. So we are going to be seeing quite a bit of flexibility from them. Now, as for Booyah Gang, now you've talked about this a little bit, Anson, and you told a little bit about them. So let the stream know about what we might be expecting.
We've been seeing Booyah Gang a lot. Well, at least I have recently. Booyah Gang, a great French team, has been getting a lot of results. They're a double V-shot team, much more traditional with double V-shot machine and E-leader. I'm sorry, that brings me back to the good old days. Not really good old days, the Splash meta. We're seeing E-leader and machine a lot. But a great Div 1 match here. Two very good teams. And we're gonna see really what wins here. As we got a team with a lot of experience, we're a team with a lot of great startups.
For sure, and it's gonna start here on our game one map mode combo. Splat zones on Brinewater. You know, of course, since this is LUTI Week 1, if any of you have tuned in to any other LUTI streamed matches, this is the exact same map pool, of course, but it is still nice to reiterate on some of these maps.
Manta Maria, baby!
Yeah, Manta Maria. I mean, we'll be seeing it a little bit later. Hopefully, this doesn't go to a clean sweep from one of the teams, just so we can see a little bit more variety in these matches. But yeah, we're going to be starting here. Splat Zones, Brinewater Springs, of course, pretty traditional. We're all pretty used to it by now. Very, very heavily benefiting charger weapons, and we know that Booyah Gang has an actual E-leader / charger 2-trick on their team tactic, they are going to be coming out with the E-leader no scope to try and see how much distance pressure they can put on, and we're already seeing them putting out a lot of pressure here in mid, not letting Booyah Gang move in without specials, which they have 2 of. Those double Zookas, 3 now, 2 Zookas, and Tri-Strikes all going to be popped at once, but it's not going to be able to be enough as Hmmmmm manages to get a little bit more value out of their Tri-Zookas than Booyah Gang, and that's going to be, even though they did lose the zone, they're going to quickly take it back and set up for another hold.
A great hold from Hmmmmm. We're seeing the quad shooter from Booyah Gang, which takes me back to Splatoon 2. For better or for worse. But we were talking about the V-Splash. I don't see a lot of V-Splash. Or not V-Splash. I can't. Neo Splash. I can look at things and read. We're seeing the Neo Splash, and I've not been seeing a lot of Neo Splash. It's great. It's a great main weapon. Splash has always been a great main weapon, and the Neo Splash, while it's not Crab isn't as prevalent in the meta anymore. This isn't Season 13 anymore. This is Season 14. But as I'm saying this, Hmmmmm has been massively increasing their lead. As 2 go down on the side of Hmmmmm, and Booyah Gang finally gets control of the zone for a decent chunk.
Yeah, no, that quad shooter function that you pointed out on the side of Booyah Gang is going to be really useful for them to have that mobility, that page, just really everything that shooters provide. But it doesn't really help them that much if they can't play off of that double Zooka, since we're already seeing Tactic get some nice picks with that E-leader, making some space for their team to start moving forward. And, you know, they have those Tri-Strikes, but not if they can't keep their Neo Splash alive, which they get picked once again. And Booyah Gang are already setting up for another push, that Tri-Zooka, that Booyah Bomb. everything going to be stacking up to take the zone, and is being forced onto this left side once again, which they need to try and take a fight in, but it's not going to be really beneficial. Those machine indirects, that suction bomb, that E-leader is just going to be a little bit too much for them to deal with, and they're going to be pushed back really far back into their spawn again.
Yes, and the thing about Brinewater Springs here is if you want to push up ramp, as I was saying before last match, this map is basically a Z. It's basically an S, right? You have mid, which is important, but once you get control of mid, you want to push up the top side of the S here and get control of that. So when makes this push like they're doing now, which got shut down, you stall and you can fall back to mid, which is another great defensive position. But as we were saying that, tactic, E-leader all the way up there at ramp, finally gonna fall back here as Pew is looking to Pew, and he doesn't Pew, as I stood down on the side of Great name for a squeezer. I forgot the name of the weapon. Great name for a squeezer player, by the way. But EB so far into spawn, as you can see, everyone had to deal with him, and that is a game over. A knockout on the side of Booyah Gang as they take game 1 here.
Yeah, with a pretty nice knockout there at the end. I mean, this is kind of what I was talking about at the beginning of the game. That E-leader on the side of the tactic was really beneficial just because of how the map is designed. It can really take advantage of the long sightlines offered. And Booyah Gang, even with their quad shooter composition, which, back in Splatoon 2, which you mentioned, did a great job of dealing with chargers. It was mostly due to some of the specials that were prevalent back then, that armor, those missiles. Nowadays, you have that Trizuka and you have those Tri-Strikes, but it's not exactly as effective as the special in Splatoon 2 for dealing with chargers. So even though Booyah Gang was doing even though was doing a good job of playing with that composition, it didn't quite find the success that it would have found back in the good old days of missile and armor. So yeah, congratulations to Booyah Gang for taking game 1, and we're gonna be seeing how can maybe step up their game here on game 2. Tower control on Inkblot.
I don't think you're saying the name long enough.
Yeah, really?
Yeah, more like that. Just kidding. A great amount of M's there. Really trying to make the most of the text limit. As we're going into tower control Inkblot, a staple. Everyone knows this map. Everyone's practicing this map. Everyone's scrimmed this map. This map is a staple of Splatoon. Both of these teams their comps are good for it. There's a lot of things you can do with this map. There's flanks. There's a good control of mid. There's high ground. There's low ground. You can play machine, you can play charger, you can play a lot of things. We saw earlier a range blaster, though we didn't win, we saw a range blaster on this map. And what are we gonna see this map? Might change up what they play. Booyah Gang might, who knows, as we go into a wonderful tower control.
Yeah, for sure. I mean, honestly, the weapons that we see on the side of are definitely pretty useful. That E-leader is going to obviously has proven its worth on tower control just because of how much distance pressure can put on that narrow space. But of course, Booyah Gang. Booyah Gang with the E-leader, but with that double Trizuka Tri-Strike, very, very nice for how you play this map. That really, really snowbally play style centered around the tower and those defensive positions. Really nice for those specials to play around.
In my opinion, I really do like the charger on tower control. I love being able to have a backlane, but as soon as I start to speak, free go down on the side of Booyah Gang as swiftly taking control of tower, and that I did not expect Boo to go down there. As Booyah Gang fights right back, not allowing him to get a big point lead, as we're still in neutral here, as these two teams are duking it out.
Yeah, they're just going band for band right now. Booyah Gang being able to survive the Zuka onslaught from taking out both of their aggressive shooters. There's 3 down on the side of the Squeezer is only just coming back from spawn right now, and Booyah Gang is wasting no time getting onto Bat's area and getting that nice aggressive position. Tactic keeping some sidelines locked down with that E-leader, really nice when you're pushing up. The Trizuka Booyah Bomb trying to find one, finds Humo. That shot player is going to be being forced to go back to spawn and not have that Trizuka ready for the defense. The points are still taking down for Booyah Gang, and is not in a good position to defend right now, especially if they go 2 down. Once again, that's 3 down now. The Zap player can't stay alive, and all the while, Booyah Gang is still just keeping all their members alive, or at least just coming back quickly. All those specials stack up very quickly thanks to the power special advantage, and just the picks keep coming from Booyah Gang in no position to defend. They are just really staggered right now. Huma goes down, the Squeezer goes down. 9-8. They're gonna keep on pushing this tower, trying to get that knockout. It's only the Zap alive once again, and the points just keep on coming out for Booyah Gang. Extremely close to that checkpoint. It's a wipeout. It's only the machine left alive, and they are gonna be able to get on the tower at the last second and secure that. Really,
that ends up almost contested there. As it was back and forth in the beginning, right? Back and forth in the first part where had a great push at the beginning, getting picks, using the aggressiveness of their comp. But as I was trying to say in the beginning, having the sniper on tower is so good for tower control. Even if it's not a sniper, having the backline weapon or a crab on tower is just so good, as you're able to lock down so many sight lines, and it's really hard for him to get on tower and contest, especially when you get into the latter part where that's a great way to stall the push. As you saw, miss touching here, miss touches again later on in the match. It's very hard for them to get these things when you have an E-leader on the tower, or a wave, a charger, or a splatling. We have choice of flavor here being the charger. And that just proved so pivotal for Booyah Gang. It was able to lock down the aggressiveness of whom's comp was not able to be fully utilized in that second part because they weren't able to break past the great defense of Booyah's weapon loadout. But now we're going into Rainmaker, where it's a very aggressive mode. There's a lot of you push as hard as you can, and especially on Humpback Pump Track, as we've seen before earlier today, you can get that first checkpoint really quickly, and now all of a sudden you're playing Splatoon 2.
Yeah, so, that's one of the downsides of that quad shooter comp that has. Like I mentioned in the first map, that's Plaza in the Brinewater game. You don't have the global specials that you used to have in Splatoon 2. So even though you have those long range options, those tri-strikes, those trizukas, it's still not as effective as an anchor that can really hold his ground and puts pressure on from afar without the need for farming for specials. And Booyah Gang really played that to their fullest.
Yes, they did. And Humpback Pump Track, I'm a fan. I came in as Splatoon 2, so I'm very biased. But there's a very snowbally nature here, and I do think here is where comp might be great here, but we're seeing Booyah Gang switch up from the E-leader, a very, heavy weapon, into the vanilla charger. My brain is forgetting the word charger today. And we see a jet squelcher come out on the side of, still sticking with that quad shooter comp, but instead going with a much more ranged option in that jet squelcher. Is it enough? We can only say.
Well, okay. In my opinion, I don't think it's so much the range, but the special, because that ink vacuum is really, really useful for getting past this right side, that really narrow checkpoint. Once you get that narrow stretch of space, once you get that checkpoint, and we're already seeing how Pew Pew is taking advantage of that vacuum, making a lot of protection for their team. And we're seeing similar strategies come out from Booyah Gang as they went the vanilla charger with the same special, maybe not as much output, but the same special regardless to help them on their pushes. We haven't seen them utilize it yet in an aggressive manner as Booyah Gang is being held back by Hmmm's aggression. Halo going for another pick. They're going to be able to get a wipeout, and with tri-strikes online and ability of a vacuum soon, is in a great position to push right now. Booyah Gang being caught off guard with Halo going just so aggressive with that Neo Splash, getting 2 picks. The Rainmaker is going to be stopped by that Trizuka from Washes, but the damage has been done, and a lead of 32 has been cemented for this early in the match. It's got to feel pretty nice.
Yes, it will. A lead of 32 is massive. And I've seen this a lot today. It gets a 32. I don't know what's about this magic number of getting to 32 on Humpback Pump Track. But I'm going to be honest there. I forgot that Jet Sculptor had vacuum. For the longest time, we didn't see vacuum, and now we're seeing it. And Jet Sculptor, a great pick for Hmmmmm here, especially when they get into that second segment. But I need to stop speaking as Hmmmmm gets a delayed wipe onto Booyah Gang. And now they have almost free reign over this flat as a great pick from the machine to get that Rainmaker. And Hmmmmm will just back off here, giving space over to Booyah Gang.
Yeah, and still, Booyah Gang just isn't able to really get anything going. Look how much blue there is on the map. Even with that charger's long-range pressure, is kind of seeming like a completely different team. They're doing a really nice job of playing around the faults of Booyah Gang's composition. That machine and that charger making it really difficult for them to push forward. Even with that double shooter, double Trizuka composition that they have going, it's still really difficult for them to get anything really on the board. And Booyah Gang is struggling to get some concrete progress. Only now are they starting to get some points on the board going up to 88, but it's just pales in comparison to Hmmm's push to 32. But maybe we might see them get something started here as they get 2 picks with the Trizuka. The vacuum is going to be contested by the other vacuum, but it gets cancelled. They round the Rainmaker 3 down the side of Hmmmmm, and they're going to be able to push forward. Takes the lead all the way to 18, and they are forcing me to eat my words as find their match here on Rainmaker and are struggling to defend as another point comes out from Booyah Gang and cements them with a lead of 17.
A massive lead. We saw here that vacuum very useful. We've been seeing that a lot on Humpback Pump Track for getting from the first checkpoint to the end checkpoint. Because it's a straight line, that vacuum gives a lot of value, and to go down on the side of Hmmmmm, and Booyah Gang is going to be able to play more pressure here. They could even choose to jump to the left passage here and try to get some more points that way, but it looks like a Trizuka will be occupying that space. To go down again on the side of Hmmmmm. It's just back and forth, but really just back and forth on who's going to drop on the side of Hmmmmm as Booyah Gang keeps up this aggression, not allowing Hmmmmm to get past their plat. And we're seeing here that Hmmmmm is kind of just locked in underplat, as I said before. Tactic able to get away, a clutch getaway, able to keep that special charge. The Rainmaker gets challenged and eventually goes down there. Booyah Gang trying to scrap here. EV able to get one, but not able to get a second here. Hmmm's looking like they might be able to pop Rainmaker here. With 10 seconds left, what can they do here? It's just a straight line. There's no vacuum available for them. 3, 2, 1. We'll be going into overtime here. We're seeing Hmmmmm trying to paint a line with the splatter shot. And here comes the vacuum, waiting for that vacuum, but it doesn't matter. It gets shot out, I believe, from behind there, as that will be Booyah Gang taking game 3.
Yeah, no, honestly, congratulations to Booyah Gang for timing that Trizuka right as the vacuum had to deal with that delay between the end of the vacuum and the shot going out, and that they managed to time that Trizuka just right so that it thread the needle in that timing, that short little window to get the pick on both the Trizuka and the Rainmaker carrier. You know, honestly, Hmmmmm seemed very confident at the beginning of the game after they got that lead to 32, which, you know, granted, they could play very defensively, which we did see them do, but Booyah Gang managed to overcome that and play off of that that double Trizuka vacuum play that we saw and really push it so far. Hmmmmm had a good overtime push set up, but again, it was just that game-changing Trizuka from Booyah Gang that managed to solidify the whole thing.
I'm gonna be honest, teams need to stop being confident in 32 lead on Humpback dump track. I think this makes it 2 sets in a row now. The team has had a lead at 32, and it has been overcome at one point in the match. And at this time, it involved a win for Booyah Gang. It's 32 is this magical little number on Humpback bump track that is, it seems to be one push. If you get that checkpoint, if you make one dash up that road, that strip of land, you get the 32. You get around that mark. If you get you're only 2 team fights away from losing on the other push. If in Booyah Gang, they were able to get that push to 32, and they were able to win the next team fight, allowing them to extend their lead here. I need to see, if I was them, I would have been playing more aggressively, trying to get a push to 20 here, because Humpback Pump Track is such a volatile map. But speaking of volatile maps, we'll be going into one that tends to be not very volatile. A stable map that's been with the community forever, going into Clan Blitz MakoMart. Bio, what are your thoughts?
Well, you know, claimless MakoMart. Oh jeez, I can't say I harbor a lot of love for this thing. It's an awkward stage for me. The clams baskets are so close together, but I mean that does create a certain type of charm for this stage. Really aggressive, which might just end up benefiting actually both teams as Booyah Gang switch off of their staple charger pick with tactic and actually have them go onto the slosher. Doesn't quite seem to get the value they wanted as they do end up going one down immediately, but Booyah Gang still doing a good job defending, but with that raw mobility given by that quad shooter composition is going to give them quite a bit of speed to move forward and get the picks that they need. They have a power climb going, they have that special advantage to try and farm some stuff, but it is actually going to be Booyah Gang with the 2 Trizukas coming out first and getting some picks. Have 3 specials online, but they lose the Squeezer and they lose the Neo Splash with only the machine. Well, with only the Splash Shot left alive and the Zap coming back to the spawn. They are going to be able to stall things out and salvage their power clamp, but they still seem no closer to pushing.
Very back and forth as we finally see Booyah Gang get a power clam in, and this is where the magic happens. Let's see how long Booyah Gang can keep this net open. They're looking like they're having trouble contesting that mound, but they finally do get some clams in at a lead to 68. But it looks like is finally making their defense here. As soon as I say that more clams come in, that basket will be open for even longer. Trying to make a defense here, and basket will finally be closing as a great push to 59 from Booyah Gang.
Yeah, I mean, 59 is not the best push, of course. Clamblitz really prefers you to have those really strong pushes in comparison to a larger quantity of them, but it doesn't really matter as is once again struggling to do anything against Booyah Gang's surprisingly aggressive playstyle. Of course, they are running a backless composition, which allows them to pull that off, but especially these 2 Trizukas coming out is only going to get 1 pick in comparison to Booyah Gang going 2 down. Just quickly the opportunity that has been waiting for. It is going to be a trade, but that's going to benefit Booyah Gang as they are defending. 2 go down once again on the side of it's just a Trizuka battle here in mid. The Slosher trying to get a pick onto Pew Pew. It is going to happen. It's going to be a trade. But once again, Booyah Gang always comes out on top when it comes to those trades in mid. And just once again, even more Trizukas. It's just like that little, like that challenge league stage. Too many Trizukas. It's 4 in total. And we're seeing both teams really just spam them so much to try and get some picks to get things started. But it seems that both teams are just stuck in a really stall heavy neutral.
Very stall heavy neutral, but we finally see 2 go down on the side of Booyah Gang. And 3 go down on the side of Booyah Gang. There is a power clam on the board. If somebody can pick it up, it looks like it gets picked up right as it's about to break there. This could be where Hmmmmm gets a good push going. As you see, PQ is pushing really far, almost pushing the mound there. And now there's only just a little bit of contest from Booyah Gang.
Yeah, finally trying to get something going, but the Trizuka doesn't quite seem to get the value that they need to go down the side of Booyah Gang, doing a great job defending. 3 down, it's only the Neo Splash left alive, coming back from spawn, and that's going to be a quick shutdown on Hmmm's push to just 74, which is technically close to that 59 from Booyah Gang, but those points make all the difference when it comes to just being 1 minute 20 seconds away from the end of this game. And Booyah Gang do lose a few of their members, and but still is in no position to push right now. They have no power clam made, while Booyah Gang is chilling with 2 set up. Mist finally manages to get 1 going and start making a little bit of space, but they lose their squeezer. Once again, they can't quite seem to stay alive, and they have to deal with this Trizuka, which is going to target Mist. Thanks to the combo off of the Slosher, going to get quite a bit of value. They are going to be able to salvage the power clam and throw it in, but how many points can they score before they lose their push? That's actually going to be enough for a lead all the way to 46. This I did not see coming, and managed to turn the tables with just a little bit over 30 seconds left. They're going to keep scoring a little bit more to try and extend that lead all the way to 25, 22 remaining, and Booyah Gang is actually struggling to deal with this push. They can't quite get them to close the basket. It does seem like it's going to be happening now, but not after a lot of time wasted by and Booyah Gang now have a little bit over 10 seconds plus overtime with these power clams to get something going. They need to do something, and they need to do it now if they want to win this game.
They do have an avenue of opportunity here, as they do have that pity clam. And if they can get a power clam jump here, that will bring them down to 39, which only needs about 6 or 7 clams. This is still a close game, folks. And there is that first clam, but the jumper is dead. But that is a wipeout onto Hmmmmm, as the clams will start trickling in here, and this is panic moment. If you're Hmmmmm, you need to make sure Booyah Gang does not get these clams in, and it looks like they're able to get 2 down on the side of Booyah Gang. Oh, and a great power clam.
At the last second, that power clam going in. I'm honestly surprised it made it. I thought that was too far. But Booyah Gang pulling off that game for a comeback. And, you know, we're just seeing Booyah Gang, you know, pull the rug under, from out under Hmmm's feet, taking that win from under them like it's nothing. Getting those comebacks, we already saw it on the Humpback Rainmaker game. They just stayed calm, regardless of the lead that had over them, and just take these games back. And that's honestly the scariest type of team that I would not want to face, since they truly have a mental of steel to make these comeback plays happen. And now, after this really close game here on Clanlets MakoMart, we are heading to a game 5. The possibility of Booyah Gang clearing this set 5-0 against Hmmmmm.
I wish my power clamps could make it from that distance. But they never seem to. They always fall short. Hmmmmm had a massive push there. I was about to say, but that first push, first push didn't look promising. Only down to 74. You're essentially almost giving a pity clam to your opponents for free at that point, because you've only gotten 2 clams extra. But they proved more than that in that second push, getting all the way down to, I believe, 29. And very much showing a promising push, but Booyah Gang coming in at the last second, getting the picks just enough, getting enough space to their power clam pusher to get that second power clam in at the last second. Clutch power clam, clutch plays, and we're going into Shipshape Cargo, the new map. Everyone's been loving it, as I've been saying all day, all week. We're seeing the E-Leader come back here for what could be one last Splat Zones.
Yeah, the E-Leader is going to be really beneficial on this map. I've heard a lot of players say that this map, Shipshape Cargo, especially on Splat Zones, is really, really charger biased, almost to mincemeat levels, which, you know, I might disagree with, but it is definitely a take that we should keep an eye out for. And especially as Booyah Gang already with an explosive opening, 2 down now on the side of with that tactical, going to try and set up a pushback in, especially as they get a nice clean kill onto that leader. They're going to have to face a Trizuka from Yoshi's though. Great plays coming out from that, and even more Zukas coming out from Booyah Gang is going to keep from getting anywhere near the zone. And already, just 40 seconds into the game, they're already at less than 50 points remaining, and counting Booyah Gang just blocking this down with ease, not being able to get any value out of their Trizukas as the leader, the machine, the Booyah Bomb, being able to keep every single member of at bay. The splatter shot does end up going a little bit deep, but they get compensated by the Trizuka, by that E-leader, and just 10 points remaining. Need to get on this zone right here, right now, if they want to have a chance, but the squeezer goes down, the shot goes down, and that's a clean 100-0 knockout coming out from Booyah Gang to sweep this set 5-0 over
That was quick. That was rapid. That was Booyah Gang was. They didn't want to play anymore. They wanted to end the set. They didn't want to give a chance. Just a complete domination. Every time one person went down, there was somebody ready and available to trade. Had no real. They weren't able to get in at all. Their best chance was at the beginning, where they got that leader, but that leader was immediately traded by Nezuka, and then from there on, just constant aggression from the likes of BB, from the B shot, from the machine. It was very convincing. A perfect knockout there to give a 5-0 victory to and Booyah Gang win their week 1 LUTI match very convincingly.
I mean, you know, Booyah Gang just played so ruthlessly on that last match. They made him feel helpless. And honestly, you saw how easily that E-leader was able to dominate those long sight lines and keep from going anywhere outside of their spawn. And yeah, that was a very fitting way to end off this 5-0 sweep on the side of Booyah Gang. So congratulations to them for winning this best of 9 set. That is going to be all for us too before we go on to our next set of the day. But yeah, regardless, that is going to be all for us. Tell us, Anthony, aside from this Dapple LUTI collaboration stream, where can we find you?
Well, first, before that, I want to say no man to Maria. No! I am sad, but you can find me over at Twitter at Antonin4, where I make where I make the most hilarious of posts about a game I don't play called Smash. And you can find me over at Twitch at Sir_Bacon Gaming. I think there's an underscore between the last 2 words. I don't remember. And YouTube by the same name. But I don't make good content, so don't follow it. Bio, where can we find you?
Well, you can all find me on Twitter at bio__29, and of course any other tournaments that you might have the misfortune of finding me commentating. And yeah, so thank you all so much for watching this great LUTI Week 1 set. And yeah, we'll be back soon with our next set of the evening, which I believe is a Division X set between Shadowbolt versus In Control Red Sun. So you definitely don't want to miss that. Stay tuned.
Peace.